down. We had to motor had a garage. We had to try to jack it up, try to find all kinds of stuff,
Well,
and
I
try to
think
treat it.
Hello and welcome back to the AP Lazer Live. I am joined as usual by our co-host Alicia, and sorry,
He's got cold brain. Allergy brain?
allergy brain, something
Allergy
right?
brain.
Yes.
Sorry.
We have a very special show today. We have a couple special guests, a couple people we know very well. Before we get into them, it's been a month or so. Alicia, what have you been up to?
I'm learning how to do things on the fiber now. So it's a time, but I've made some pretty fun stuff already on there. So
You know, I've seen some pretty amazing stuff from you already.
it's a whole different world than the CO2, but the things it can do are absolutely amazing. It's exciting to see, especially with being able to go up and down with the lowrider.
Yeah,
model.
well, yeah, that fiber, especially combined with the lowrider, that's really
And-
the amount of materials it's opening up into for the world of.
And with MOPA capabilities and
Oh,
being able
yeah.
to do the colors and stuff, I haven't touched that yet, but
Yeah.
I'm excited.
That's exciting too. There's a lot of. We touch every market with all our machines now. It's really exciting. There's a. I'm sorry, there was a little noise there. So we're getting into some things today. We have one of our first special guests is somebody who was with us, who was with us for a long time, and then she decided to leave. She saw that she saw some greener grass, and then realized maybe it was poison ivy. And when she left, I told her something. I said, "Hey, Shannon, when you leave, I'm gonna hold on to stuff for you because I know you'll be back." And she is back with our AP Lazer family, and we'll get into that a little bit. And I have a surprise for you at the end of this too. I've been holding on to something because I knew this was going to happen. But Shannon Hartwick is a very unique, extraordinary individual. She's a self-motivator, a self-achiever, an entrepreneur, and just a great asset to have in any family, much less a company. But so how you been doing lately, Shannon?
I've been great, Aaron. Good to see you again.
Yeah, it's Shannon and I never really lost communication because she's close with some of my coworkers here, and so it's not like I haven't seen her in a while. It's just I've just been kind of baiting her, like, when you coming back? When you coming back? But she's back, and so what kind of things have you been doing in your time away from us with your laser and stuff?
Well, so I'm really excited because we bought an AP Lazer, and I just started my little laser business of my own. I finally got a new house, so I got room for one, and I got a AP Lazer in the basement. So I'm going through the process of doing the LLC and trying to set up a website and everything. So it's very exciting because it's everything I've told my customers they can do, and now I'm the one doing it. So let's put it to the test.
So you're going through all those excitements and all those struggles and all the ups and downs that you've seen through your customers, which is interesting, right?
Yeah. No, it's really interesting because, I mean, at least I know how to do it. You know, I have a pretty solid idea, but I think it gives it's good now because I know how it works and I know how to do the website and marketing, networking. So now I can help others to help themselves to build something successful.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
actually, you helped a lot of customers before.
Yeah.
So you better know.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, I'm really glad that you're here to share your perspective, because I kind of have a side business. I do some DJing and stuff like that. But and please correct me if I'm wrong, but in my opinion, the easiest part of starting a business is having the idea, and then actually starting the business, you start getting into, I have to do the paperwork to make this legal. I have to do the marketing to make my product wanted. I have to do the creation and the setup and the time. And can you share a little bit about some of the excitement and the red tape you're experiencing? Or?
Oh, for sure. So I just started the baby stages of this website, and I started a Facebook page, TikTok, and a LinkedIn. But you know what? I told everybody, all my customers, we have a lot of resources for you on AP Lazer University, and guess what? I actually am using them. Now I might change it up with my branding and stuff, and luckily I've done a lot of laser engraving of my own. But we had our first customer over the weekend, and it was so exciting because I made a beautiful piece of live edge wood, and it turned out great, and they were super excited. And it's an exciting journey because,
Well, I think it's fascinating that you've turned product specialists to basically customers as well, so you get to see the excitement that you're delivering to our customers. Tong's always used the term priceless memories, right?
Right.
There's stuff I saw one of your TikToks. It was a lot of oohs and ahs on this TikTok, but it was a tumbler. It's similar to what you have in front of you here. That wasn't the one that was on there, but it was very similar to that. It was a Yeti, and it had stickers on it, and she had to fix that because stickers.
Stickers on Yetis? No way.
Exactly. Find that TikTok. It's gonna go viral, I promise.
Yeah, there's one thing I can't stand is vinyl stickers on a Yeti cup. When I'm walking around town and I see somebody with a Yeti or a Stanley, and I'm like, man, you need to jazz that up a bit. Let's bring that. Let me take care of that for you.
Well, it's very it's something I've always said, that when you do this for a long time, sometimes you almost might let your excitement fade, but then you have to do something to remember that the first time you saw the laser work, the first time you saw a product come off the laser, the first time that you made something that you knew nobody else in this world was going to have, and this is yours, and it has your name on it, it has your granddaughter's name on it, it has your coach's team name on it, it has your employee of the month's name on it. There's so many things that you can do with so many different products to personalize and make it your own, and that excitement of it's a laser.
It is a laser.
Yes, it is a laser.
It has to be focused.
Yes, but when you, for those of you out there who have shared your business ventures with your family, friends, and acquaintances that mention that you get in the laser, how fast do they get curious as to what are you doing with a laser? You have a laser?
Well, and think about, I mean, that kind of brings me to self-reflect on when you find that you've figured everything out, or you think you have, just experiment and do something new. I mean, I get to do that all over. I'm reigniting that spark with the fiber and figuring out new ways to do different things and finding things come to life that I didn't think I could do. So there's always a way to reignite your fascination.
Every day Alicia is doing something amazing. Okay, Alicia is sometimes, we're all our own worst critic, right? So we will make something that we envisioned was going to be like, and to everybody else is, but we're like, I could have done better. But everything you look at that Alicia does is kind of like, wow, how did you do that? I need to know how to do that.
Except for the 50 mistakes that led up to that thing.
But you don't give yourself enough credit too sometimes. I mean, she could give a master class on these lasers and the design work, and her methodology is just, she's really thought outside the box, right? And when we talk about thinking outside the box. All right, that's kind of how AP Lazer kind of got started, right? I mean, but it's not my story to tell. I mean, Tong Lee's here with us today, and for those of you who don't know, he is the owner of AP Lazer Supernova
the
International.
father of, of AP Lazer.
I mean, Tong, can you tell us a little bit about what got you started with the laser?
But you forgot to give her a hard time.
Oh, I'm gonna give her a hard time. I mean, I'll start with she left, and the AP Lazer family is kind of like, I don't know if the Hotel California is the right analogy here, but we are a family that you're not gonna get out of.
That's not hard enough.
We love each other so much, and it's such a huge support network that we're the house you want to go to for the holidays, right? Everybody knows what I'm talking about. When you were a kid and your parents are like, hey, we're going to Aunt so-and-so's house. Like, oh, not that one. But when they said, Aunt Rayanne or whoever, your favorite aunt, you'd be like, oh, yeah, let's go, Ma. Right? That's the AP Lazer family for you. It's a family you always want to go to for the holidays. But
Yeah.
So true. So I even showed up at laser cons when I didn't work, when I wasn't working here because I missed you guys so much.
Yeah. You're always welcome over here. I think we always feel like it's a family together. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Plus, we're neighbors. We live in the same town, so you can't escape from me.
Yeah, exactly.
I know I had to escape the circle. We all lived so close. I mean, Shannon and I were literally neighbors. So.
Yeah. You could walk
She
to my
lived in
house.
my backyard.
Let's get back to the.
I'm gonna get back off track real quick because
Right.
I needed to give Shannon a hard time.
Oh.
You have a laser in your basement. Is that approved by your HOA?
Ooh.
Ooh. Well, Aaron, I'm glad you asked because luckily I am secretary to the board of directors. So
I remember when that happened. That was we were on a trip to Motorhead Garage, and she was after hours. She was aggressively working on stuff in the hotel lobby, and we were kind of down there giving her a hard time drinking Coca-Cola Lights, and we're not sponsored by anybody yet. But if you're listening,
Okay, let's talk about lasers.
yeah, let's talk about lasers. Sorry. How do we get started, Tong? What inspired you to start with the AP Lazer?
I don't know. That's a hard question for me to answer.
You're out of the box story.
Yeah. So basically, it's the 2008 when stock market crash, and we have to innovate. So I come up and say, hey, we got to break some boxes. So the first box we break is the laser machine. So now we have open box laser. You can roll it out. Then you can actually roll anything big and heavy underneath, and you can actually load the laser, find the material. And that's the low rider advantage, because before you put something in, it's fixed, right? So you have to jack it up. You're trying to find wood blocks. You try to find all kinds of things. And we have some funny stories in Motorhead Garage where we have to improvise to do that. But now you just roll on the laser machine and lower the machine on top, and boom, you get done.
I want to stop you for just a second here because I don't want anybody to be lost in the significance of what we're calling the lowrider. Okay, when lasers traditionally started in a box. Okay, so in a box you had this much space, and then you had a honeycomb that would go up and down. That was we call the Z-axis. Will allow you to, I mean, if the laser has a Z-axis, some of them are just fixed height, like you get what you get. Hope you can fit it in there because this would be this thin, right? But when we put something heavy on that honeycomb, it doesn't work, or it damages the machine, or you just can't do it because it's too large, it's too heavy. So we're doing granite stones. So we open. Tong creates an open laser system that's out of the box, so you can roll a big cart under it and you can lift it up. And that presents its own challenges. Yes, we can now do these super duty heavy stones that are going for great monuments and benches and all kinds of stuff like that. But that, like I said, created a challenge of its own. So then he took it a step further and created the lowrider. So now the laser head, the whole laser head will move down and up. So you don't have to wrestle with a stone to crank it up and then worry about your fingers and leveling it off and putting shims and all this other stuff. But combined with the lowrider feature, the very unique lowrider feature is also our patented leveling system. So now once we get down to this piece, now everything's going to set level. So now we're using our four corners. It's exclusively AP Lazer that we can take the four corners and level that to the piece, so it's very seamless, very easy. The setup takes a few minutes, but things really move on very good.
I think
Which opens
right
up
now the market actually start to feel the advantage of the lowrider, and I think we roll out for like just a couple years, year and a half, and so now when people use it, and it's open up the market, and actually make the job a lot easier. So the market you can actually the existing market right now is the memorial industry, like what we have, and also the other one is the sign industry.
Sign industry.
But if you look at the small item engraving, and that machine has been on market for like half century, 60 years, right? And anything possible, you design it, and you go to JDS industry catalog, right? Anything possible, the item engravables, all different kinds. But for large item engravables, it's not there yet. So it's a wide open market for everyone actually try to get in, right? And the first one actually is the memorial industries. And with laser, you can do like very high resolution photos, and suddenly you outdated the sandblasting and old traditional designs, which is bulky letters and very simple symbols. And so once you can put family photos in there, now the trend is like large life-size photos and right on the monuments, and you can go to cemetery. It's like, wow, that's it. So it's really great. Then the second large object market is especially with low rider advantage, and you can actually pretty much roll any signage, large, heavy. You got border rocks and whatever, and you go in there. If you're as creative as Alicia, and you can come up with like beautiful designs. And once you put in the large item on top, and suddenly, and this thing is normally always displayed in high traffic areas, the corporate signs, and so the word of mouth and the advertising value is huge. And if you got old Alicia's and good design over here, and enlarge it and make into a big signage and big features, and that's going to be like the big market. And for anyone, I don't think people, because right now customers are so busy on the tumblers and on the all the small stuff, and nobody actually ventured out yet.
Right.
Well, you mentioned the word of mouth, and the only person more excited about the laser creation than the creator is the receiver, and they have to tell everybody, look what I got. I mean, everybody's so proud. The customer's part of the creation process, so the word of mouth is actually a really big deal. And
exactly. Yeah.
You were talking about all these new markets with the large engravings and different things like that, and signage and all that, which brings me to exciting things that'll be happening at ISA next year. We're going to be unveiling some new stuff, and we're going to have all sorts of amazing samples made by someone really cool. I don't know.
Have you get the big bench done yet?
Oh yeah, we haven't got it done yet, but we definitely. I think we'll have that for NFDA. I think.
Yeah.
Which is
so
also
we got
coming
some
up
benches.
October,
That's
so
the first thing, and the next thing we are actually trying to work on is find the garden features and public displays, and your potential right now is a B2B market. Okay, so if you look at the bench, and when you got nowadays for the businesses and try to market, you spend a couple $1,000s on digital marketing. You haven't started marketing yet, so you don't know yet. And you threw in the Facebook, you threw in the Google, it doesn't get you anything. It's like disappears, right? And it just lasts for like a couple days, and that's it. But if you actually get a large bench, and with your information on top, and with your logo, and especially with the bench we have, and with the large bag, the full size bag, and you can actually get creativities up and design something really fancy and really striking, and that advertising value is huge. So
Yeah.
you should be able to get the businesses and pay a couple $1,000 and for bench and place in somewhere is like, wow,
Right.
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like our innovation. Tong is always very creative in how we're able to get the word out about the AP Lazer, and whether it's at conventions or just it's, I guess with everything it's product placement, right? And
And also you always fight with me.
well sometimes a lot, but
But that's how new discoveries are made and changes are made,
So-
right?
so let me
Correct.
let me clarify. So Tong is always innovating this machine. Alicia was talking about something exciting next year. What's really exciting is I've been here for 12 years plus or minus. As every year of working with AP Lazer, it's been something exciting coming next year. We are Tong is constantly innovating this machine, but he's doing responsible innovation. He doesn't want to put something out that's not going to be youthful, that's not going to be effective, that's not going to have value added, right? So as we roll out changes, we're not just rolling out changes, just roll out changes. We are keeping up with the technology and the trends, but we're doing it in a responsible manner, right? Because we also understand that users don't want to spend a year learning something and then change it right now, because now they got to spend the next year learning something. But we roll things out in a way that are very responsible and effective. Sometimes, right or wrong, I might disagree with how Tong is doing something. I'm usually wrong. Sometimes, most of the time.
Right. So actually, Aaron knows me because we worked together for a long time, and and we always debate in technical sense, and he always point out I was wrong. And most time he was right. So only a couple times, and I win the argument. I say like, ha ha ha, Aaron.
It happens.
So-
It happens. Sometimes I'm right, but to be fair, I am a slightly college-educated Marine Corps veteran arguing with a PhD, and the odds are already stacked
don't-
against me. So if you ever see me pop up on your betting app, don't bet on me.
So I
That's why
think
when
he's right. Yeah.
When I find anything wrong with the machine, I just keep it quiet.
I think Aaron's right. Here's a very important factor, and you guys, all the business owners need to pay attention to, and keep it simple, and keep it versatile, and keep it durable. So that's pretty much my design and development philosophy. And because I realize I got a fancy TV, but the only function I use is just a couple functions, right? Couple buttons I push. And in business, especially in business, and you actually 30% of your function of your machines and give you the 90% of your profit. So try to keep it simple and easy so people can learn. You can easily train your employees, and you can actually, just chase the productivity and
Right.
chase the market.
Right.
Well, and I'm sorry to kind of get off track here. We're going to keep it simple. The design, when Tong designed the machine, he also designed it in a manner that is very consumer friendly or business owner friendly. What I mean by that is, it's laid out in a fashion that if there's something goes wrong with the machine, your downtime costs money, and your downtime is our downtime, and that doesn't look good for anybody. So, if say you have a problem with the machine, whether it be a design, I don't understand how to do this, or this isn't working right, I'm receiving an error, we have our world-class 24/7 AP Lazer technical support. Okay, it's not just technical support, it's customer support. So if you're stuck on how to design an image, or you're stuck on a function, they can usually help you over that. You can call them again, 24/7, world-class. It's for the life of the machine. So and we're not going to charge you an annual subscription for maintenance or service. It comes with the machine, and as long
Right.
as you have that machine, you have the AP Lazer support.
Right, and
And,
one of my
okay.
favorite things that I found when I started working on these, because I still haven't been here too long. It's been about 2 years almost now. So, but I did come with prior laser knowledge. I worked with big box laser machines at my university, and everything was so gate kept behind. They had their own software you had to use their design parameters, and if anything went wrong, you were not allowed to touch it you had to have the tech come and replace whatever needed to be replaced, even if it was as simple as replacing like a lens.
And you'd have to pay for that
Which
service
machine?
call.
And you have to pay for that, and it was just
we do
too
have
much to deal
in-person
with.
service calls available, but if you call our 24/7 tech support 365 days a year, we will send you a part, and you get that part quickly, and then a couple screws, a plug of a wire, and you're ready to go again. It's really been made that simple to make sure everything's accessible and serviceable, so we can minimize your downtime and keep. As long as the laser's running, you're making money. That's the
Right.
idea. So
Which laser machine you have? Which
I'm
brand?
just gonna leave it at big box laser for this. I don't.
Okay.
I'm not gonna.
You don't want to.
I'm
No, we don't
not.
need to say
I'm not
anything.
dragging anybody.
I'll ask you later. Yeah. So now we should get to the discussion. Answer the questions.
Oh yeah, if there's any
Yeah.
questions in there, I know
Yeah.
Frank is in the chat and
Yes.
he's.
Frank is. We have a couple people really excited. Shannon's back. Frank is.
Aw.
Matthew Ewell. I'm glad Shannon is back. We're all glad Shannon is back. But Scott Glover had a really good question, and I am curious how, when doing larger pieces that can be 10 foot in length or longer, how do you either do it in pieces, or what models make sense for this larger work? So, obviously, when you're looking at working with your salesperson to find what laser fits your need, you want to share all the stuff you're planning on doing. And we're gonna have something later in the show to mention to make sure you can get set up for something if you haven't already worked with to get a demo or something. But they're doing something 10 foot, depending on the width and stuff like that, is going to be based on a few different factors. So if you can fit it left to right in the machine, then we're gonna be looking pretty good, right? Because there's a stitching, what we call stitching, built into the software, where you can take images and you can stitch it to where you can engrave a piece, and then you can move it and then line it up, and then start the next piece, and then move it, line it up, start the next piece. We did it, I think there was a door behind me. If you look behind me, let me slide. And now that everything looked good for a minute, let me come back in and ruin the picture. There's his face again.
I will say you can watch the tutorial on how to do that on our YouTube
Yes,
channel.
we have
as well.
tutorials, we have support, we have videos, and all that stuff is really good. That's a really good question, but stitching is done easiest with the AP Lazer, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you really want to go crazy, we could probably get you a 4896, but everything can be done with the 4836 for that matter, because the stitching is done easy, because we have, it's not just a pass-through system. It's an open cabinet system. So you can, if you want to roll a VW bug up underneath the machine, you can do that. It's been done. I've seen it.
Oh yeah.
A John Deere tractor.
Well, we did the motorcycle on Motorhead Garage.
Motorcycle on Motorhead Garage, right. There's a lot of stuff that can be done with this. The possibilities are endless or bottomless, or however you want to call it. But that was a really good question, and again, you'll have some support through that process, Scott, when you get into it.
Next question.
Was there anything else in the chat?
I'm looking. Frank also can't stand vinyl stickers.
Well, while we're searching for another question to pop up here, what are some questions you come across as a salesperson, Shannon? Like, what's most commonly, like, people are freaking out, they want to know this or that?
I'd say mostly it's, well, what can you do with a laser? That's one of the big ones. And usually my little spiel is, you can laser engrave just about anything as long as it's not toxic or flammable like PVC or vinyl.
And we do have a list that we provide. So, like, you don't have to worry about, oh, no, I just did something crazy.
Yeah.
We have gone through a list of, oh, don't engrave that. We'll let you know.
And if it's on the
Like,
list, you're not sure, if we get the MSDS, we can find out really quick.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
I like one customer's business card, right? She has Susan. She has a business card say, we engrave everything but human.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
I love that. So it's pretty much with low rider with open architecture, and you can put anything underneath and you can engrave it. Just watch the material, the safety aspect of the materials.
Yeah, I think another one that comes up a lot is, how does it work?
Right.
How do you get an idea from your head and put it onto something? So I usually I prefer Lightburn laser software, but sometimes I like Corel too, Corel Draw or the Photograve. But we have the Lightburn tutorial. We have lots of resources. Everybody kind of does their own method.
Well, we talked about the AP
Nice.
Laser family, and
Yeah.
one thing that I didn't mention that kind of at this point almost holds hands with our tech support. And Matthew Yule commends us on our tech support, and thank you, Matthew. I'll make sure the tech support team knows that they're appreciated. But we also have our AP Laser Before You Buy group and AP Laser User Group. The AP Laser User Group is truly a family of laser users and owners, okay? When we're in this business, we're in it together. And when you go down to our user group, once you've joined the AP Laser family, you see that everybody there is eager to help you. And it's not competition. I'm not holding on to a secret.
Hey,
Everybody's-
Aaron,
Yes.
do you know how the AP Laser family started?
Ooh,
So everybody says AP Laser family, and nobody knows when it started and how it started. Does anybody know? You know?
this is
You
a
know?
fun fact. Let's hear
Okay.
it.
So during the COVID, I was like super depressed, and I was like everything shut down,
Yeah.
right? And I'm trying to innovate. I tried to design my 2616, and but I ran into some troubles, and I was like, man. And one day I read the user group, okay, and one customer, I forgot who she is. Since today, I can't find it. And if anybody watching this show and can find out who she is, I'd like to know. So she posted on the group, user group, right? And praise our tech support, how tech support go above and beyond help her, and how good the users in the group and help each other.
Mm-hmm.
And she ended with her post with the hashtag AP Laser Family. And suddenly I was like, ah. So it's like almost tears in my eyes because I was like, so since then the AP Laser family become viral. So everybody in the group and call ourselves as AP Laser family. If you go to LaserCon and you go to talk to any customers, and it's just like, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
That
Yeah.
I knew the story was along that line. I also can't remember her name. But that's why I didn't share, because I didn't want to be embarrassed. I didn't remember her name. But I'm not the only one. So
So yeah, you're supposed to know.
I am supposed to know.
You're supposed to know everything. Hello, Aaron know everything.
Ron Sisson asked, Ron Sisson, sorry if I'm saying your name incorrectly. I was asked about the turnaround time on engraving the caskets. We didn't mention it, but yes, you can engrave casting on this, and it's a very large market for in that industry.
What is it?
Engraving
Turnaround time.
caskets. I haven't done one yet, so any ideas? He says.
Okay.
Engraving caskets. To put it in perspective, we have a couple large manufacturers of caskets that are customers. Matthews, Batesville, Aurora, just the familiar ones, right? And I've done a lot of the implementation with Matthews. In that one, I specifically have a big hand in, because I help them with their catalog and all the file preparation. So what they do is they have a catalog, and they have pre-designed file images and fonts that customers can choose from. Mm-hmm. Instead of trying to narrow down what they want, they choose from this catalog, right? And I have something that kind of fits everybody's needs and wants in that.
Hey Aaron,
but
what he asked? Turnaround time.
Turnaround time, right?
Is the engraving time?
Right. Yes. So
okay.
what I'm getting into
Okay.
is some of these locations will do. Sometimes they'll do 2 caskets a day. Sometimes they'll do 10 caskets a day. So the turnaround time is actually, if you have the turnaround time is dependent on the product you have.
Right.
Which the next question you asked was, is the 4836 LR able to be transported to location if they can't send me the caskets?
Yes and no.
I think
It's easier at that point for you to go pick up the casket than it is to move the machine. Machine
no, it's
is
a lot
portable.
easier for the funeral home has a hearse They can roll the
Right,
casket
yes.
in there and deliver to you, and you engrave it while they're waiting. So here's the how the Matthew International does. Okay, and they got the design. They send the customer, and once they send the customer the design, and they already have casket
In
queue
stock, right? Yeah.
waiting. And when the computer beeps and customer confirmed it, and the boom, the guy is rolling in the casket and threw in, and they finish the whole thing in about less than half hour. Depends on how complex the casket engraving is, right? So normally your laser engraving take like 15 to 20 minutes, and with the design, sometimes it's really fancy. And then they roll out and clean up and get everything packaged with 5 minutes, really fast, and boom, get out. So half hour, and they'll be able to get the casket and package and rolling out the door and load on the truck. But that's the extreme cases. But
Right.
they are running the production because they got the long line of casket lining up and waiting for the
Yes.
for the queue. And when the customer click and they say the confirmation, and
They roll it in.
they're rolling in their production. For you guys and retailers, you don't have to be that fast. But as long as you couple hours, you get the job done, and especially if you get design done, they come in and they just wait for half hour, and you get the rush out and get done, and that's great service.
So
You know why the casket engraving is getting popular? And there's one funeral home I actually start doing the every casket with engraving.
Oh wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
and once he started and non-stop,
Right.
because once you finish the casket and it's engraved once, and compare, people buy expensive casket for show, right?
Right.
And that's becoming your funeral home, your last memory, right? Your last memory, that centerpiece, the whole thing is, involved with casket. And so once you got the laser engraved casket, it look like day and night. And the picture, even I take some pictures, picture doesn't show the justification. It's like,
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
they know how
It-
how to make the casket look good.
It's value added. It's a big
Exactly.
value added, especially I'm a district commander for the Veterans of Foreign Wars here in District 9 in Michigan, and I attend a lot of services, memorial services, and when you can put something military related and stuff like that, it's really important to a lot of the family and their fellow veterans and stuff. But then that type of market also carries into other facets, okay, whether it's religious based or whatever. Everybody loves adding that little piece to
Okay, Aaron,
which one with them.
talk about veterans. And do you know what is the first casket AP Laser engraved, and what engraved on the casket?
Yes, it
Nobody
was.
knows. Do you know?
It was.
You don't know.
It was the
I don't know
Army
any of
flag,
this stuff.
and we did it over at the Thompson
Oh.
Street.
No,
What was it?
it's a police badge.
Oh, police badge. Okay.
And the customer actually has a request. The police officer died on duty, and the family insists and put the police badge on top of the casket.
I remember that
And
one.
the
now.
customer called me up, and I showed them. I walked them through it, and they're really, really careful and doesn't want to get into too deep, so they just embrace the casket and take the clear out. It's golden color, the casket, and once they finish it, the whole family is like, it's
Well, I'm
Versus
crossing the
badge,
wires. The one I remember that sinks in the most with me is I think we had somebody, I think it was from Matthews that was there with us. We're doing a casket at Thompson Street, and I went to wipe it with a paper towel, and I felt like I verbally got my hand slapped not to use paper towel on the finish.
no,
because
no,
it'll
not
scratch
a
it.
gasket. No,
So-
they use the what do you call it, the
Microfiber,
non-fiber,
right? Yes,
microfiber,
microfiber cloth.
microfiber,
Yes.
yeah.
This has been a great kind of Q&A, and like I said, there's a lot more out there. There's a lot of resources. I feel awkward thanking Tong for joining us because he's involved with everything here. He's definitely the most active owner I've worked with and seen work, and more importantly, he's the most accessible owner to customers than any company I've ever seen. He's always put his information out there. If you're not happy with something, call
Hey,
him.
shut up, Aaron.
Yes.
No, we're supposed to give Shannon a hard
Yes,
time. Why
yes.
did you quit on us?
Shannon.
Oh no!
That's
here
what I'm
it
curious.
Hey, so when Shannon left, this was kind of exciting. When Shannon left, I said, "No, really, you're not leaving." And she was serious, and I was like, "Oh, right." I was like, "Well, I'm also the IT specialist with the company, and so I handle all the computer stuff and stuff like that." And when she brought me her equipment, I said, "You know what? I'm going to put this away. I'm not going to touch it because I know you'll be back." So. In its form as left is Shannon's laptop that is untouched and still with her login and everything ready
Aw,
to go.
thanks,
So
Aaron. You're the best.
I try, and I told
Look
you
at-
so.
Look at, here we go.
30.
I told you
It's
so.
official.
30.
Well, maybe now I should be
great.
engraving my laptop.
Yeah,
Right,
I
yeah.
be careful with
Set
that.
it in stone.
Be careful with that. Anytime we're doing electronics, we have to be careful that we're not heating up the internal electronics too much. So
Oh, but of course, because then I'll have
That's
to
a
call
lame
IT.
thing to say.
it is. No. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying be careful when you do it. Tong and I learned that at a show one time. So
Oh,
on
yeah.
iPhones.
We learned a lot from the shows.
I think I heard
Back
that
in
one.
how when you met at all everybody.
You know, speaking of shows, we're going to NFDA next month, right?
NFDA, yeah.
It's about a
Yeah.
month away,
Yeah.
so that's
Nice.
Yeah.
exciting.
And also, if you want to know more about the AP Laser, and you can actually request for demo,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
And we have we can do the live demo, actually on-set demo. I think is the best. If you have time and come over here and to AP Laser in Mason, Michigan, and we have full production of the granite memorials. You can really learn from the guys in back, and we have the studio. We have the showroom, so we can show you around. And also the other one you can consider is right now is a great time in Vegas, right?
Yep.
And so we have showroom in Vegas, and you can actually and take a vacation and business paid vacation and go to our showroom and get a half day demo over there, then spend the weekend in Vegas.
I feel like you were
Enjoy the-
talking to me and you just said I can take a vacation in Vegas. You everybody heard that, right?
Not you.
He said it'd be paid. He said business paid.
Business paid, yes, business paid vacation.
Oh, buy a laser.
No, so yeah, demos.
And-
Shannon, how can welcome back.
Thank you.
How can our
Sorry to give you a hard time.
how can our future family members set up to get a demo?
Well, I believe there's going to be a link in the description below. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
You are correct. Yes.
But definitely a demo. I feel like is if you're kind of on the edge and you want, it's so important to see it in action. And we also have a huge network of our customers around the country that will show you the machine and show you their setup and run some products for you. So whether you're close to Michigan or Las Vegas or anywhere else in the U.S., we have a place for you that you can go to likely that you can see a laser machine in action.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
personally, I think it's really beneficial to see a customer.
is.
That's
It is.
a
Location.
great idea. You go say customer,
Yeah.
and not only you learn laser machine, you learn the business side.
Right.
When all the customers know the rubber meet the road, all the little tricks, and just one trick you learn from the other customer and pays for your laser machine.
Right.
Seriously.
Right.
No, I
And I
agree.
know, Shannon, you mentioned getting samples and stuff done too, and I believe that's something we offer as well, right? We
Oh, yeah.
have those sample packs you can request if you're looking for certain materials. I know because I run them and it's great. We have
Yeah.
slate, we have metal, we've got wood, and if there's anything that your business makes or that your customers would want engraved and you're not sure how it's going to turn out, you can always mail us a sample and we can work with you on that as well.
Yep.
So we have a great network of family members that are ready to do demos. Matt Ewell says he'll do demos for anyone. We know
There you
Frank,
go.
Frank from Pops Custom Signs and Laser Designs LLC. You got to follow him if you don't. He's great.
Hey, Pops.
He will also do demos. Those are just a couple of our large family that are ready to help grow the AP Laser family. Make sure you click that link down in the description. Click that like button if you haven't and subscribe so you don't miss any of our lives. Sometimes we have to change the dates on them.
But we're pretty punctual on the once a month right now.
If you subscribe to us, you'll get updated when we're going to be going live and alerted. So make sure you click the notification button, click the bell, make sure you're getting our notifications. And thank you all for joining us. Again, click that link down there to set up your demo. Thank you, Shannon. Welcome back.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Tong, for.
Thank you, Alicia.
Thank you, Tong, for giving me a place to come into work today. And,
Yeah, right.
and Alicia, as usual, she's the best co-host. She's the only one that I couldn't do this without her. And she's gonna start doing them alone, I hear.
Nah.
No. Okay. But anyways, thank you. We will see you next month for sure. Look for us at the shows. NFDA's coming up, and there's gonna be down in the Big Easy, New Orleans. And keep an eye out.
Yeah.
I know Matt wants a LaserCon on the East Coast, and
maybe we'll see. We'll see what we can
We're
swing
working
this
on
year.
that.
we're working on that. So, well,
Until then,
keep an
you
eye
can always
open
go visit
because,
Buxton in Florida.
we call them a LaserCon. I feel like we should call it the AP Lazer Family Reunion, but that's a different conversation. So, look out for those because those are a lot of fun too. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.